Less than 30 minutes for the entire interior design concept, seconds for the photorealistic rendering of a future space, and not a single computer render used. This is what interior design looks like today. Focusing on only creative things you love, bringing your vision to life faster than you can blink, outsourcing the technical part to AI, and also knowing which tools to use, where to use them, how to get started without wasting weeks, months, waiting, learning, or even worse, purchasing expensive software that doesn't even match your speed or vision anyway. So let me introduce the revolutionary design approach I invented: iPad design, drawing, and AI. By the way, my name is Anna. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. You're gonna love it here. I draw and design on my iPad for clients in real estate, interior design, tech, textiles. Besides, I run the largest iPad design and drawing academy where my students draw like this. And my mission is to blend art, design, and modern tools, making them accessible and easy for everyone to use in their daily lives while reconnecting with your inner creativity. This is why today's approach is so unique. It not only speeds up your design process, it not only enhances your workflow, but it also allows you to create with your hands while maintaining that unique artistic touch that makes you you, that cannot be replaced by anyone. And at the same time, it also shows the world, it also shows your clients that you're up to date and you're willing to adapt to the modern reality, so to speak. So let's jump right in, everyone. I can't wait to share all of the hacks with you. We all know those situations in life when we have so many amazing ideas in mind which are still quite vague without any precise details. But the thing is that we need to see all of those ideas in real life right now. The problem is that we're too busy to discuss all of those revisions with other people, because there we become part of that never-ending cycle. We have an idea, we need to discuss it, then this or that person needs to adjust it, then we wait, then we see whether that idea was brought to life in the correct way. If not, we wait again. The entire process is incredibly time-consuming and not flexible at all. And then at the end of the day, you're simply so sick and tired of that you just lose momentum. You don't even want to pursue this or that project. And this is why you need to implement this legendary iPad design, drawing, and AI approach in your own creative and design workflow. This is what I've been doing for literally years. First of all, without AI, and now with AI for all of those precise, realistic renders at the end, because this is your literal design powerhouse at the palm of your hands, and you're in charge of the entire creative process, and the entire process is just so fast and fun. And that brings me to our today's project, of course. First of all, I wanted to turn my living room into an art studio, because I never watch TV. I really use the entire living room per se, and when friends come over, we simply hang out in the dining room area, because those chairs replace the sofa entirely. Yes, they are that comfortable. Another reason was that I wanted to have a bigger space for my creative process, where I can film, where I can paint, and where I can simply expand, because my current office feels like a more bureau for accounting or something like that, or for just filming talking head videos. So anyway, before bringing that idea to life, before spending money on the furniture, of course, I needed to test that idea out. First of all, I removed the elements which don't belong to the living room with my quick iPad sketch technique. And then I started test different sofas, because I wanted to have a sofa which then converts into a bed. Then I wanted to see how much storage I can bring to the right side, because I have so much stuff which I don't actually use, but I can't throw it away. Please raise your virtual hand if you can relate. And that stuff doesn't actually look good on the surface, so it needs to be hidden. This is why I wanted to test how many shelves or something like that I can bring there. And then on the other hand, I wanted to have like the gallery wall with my own artwork. So after seeing that this actually works, I decided to, of course, visualize this idea in real life. But before we dive into the AI process, I wanted to quickly show you the behind the scenes of that dining room area. We are currently searching for a dining table which is spacious, high quality, and which can also be your, let's say, workspace or something like that, definitely make sure to check out the H Co-Living. I'm not sponsored by them. Thing is that back in 2020, when during the pandemic time, I lost my dream design job. I was a fresh graduate and I was so happy to have found that job, but then the pandemic hit. I lost everything. My visa was about to expire, almost no savings, and then I was sitting at that hotel because I was spending there like a couple of nights. I was sitting at that desk wondering what should be my next step. You know that feeling if you've ever lost everything or if you've ever been at rock bottom, you know exactly how it feels to not knowing what the hell am I supposed to do now? What's next? There is no plan B. That was my plan A, basically. Why I'm sharing this with you. Sometimes such moments, such rock bottoms, such failures, they aren't failures at all. They are signs to redirect us to see what really matters. Redirect us to see our calling, our mission, to see something that we've been wanting to do for so many years, but for some reason we haven't taken any steps in that direction because either there are no guarantees there or what others might be thinking and all that crap that brain tries to protect us with. So this is when I decided to start my own business and do the only things I knew how to do: design, drawing, all on my iPad obviously, and the ability to communicate my ideas with the world. Since then, it's been running good. You're now part of this big vision, so please don't think if something isn't working your way right now, and I know that feeling, trust me. When nothing is working and there seems to be no hope at all, trust me, you need to go through this period in order to be able to see things that wasn't visible beforehand, because only through such dark times we can see magic which will help us get out of that rock bottom and build an even bigger and more beautiful life for ourselves. Anyway, before I dive too far into the philosophical part of following our callings, let's get back to our design project and let me show you how I went from this to this. Mind you, AI alone won't deliver the exact result you expected to deliver. I decided to generate two AI visualizations. The first one was obviously with my iPad sketch and the second one without my iPad sketch. Despite my detailed prompt, despite multiple attempts, the result didn't quite match my vision. Yes, you can still see some of the elements being where they need to be, but the general idea looks kind of random, right? Even the window on the background doesn't look like my window in real life. Why that happened? Well, first of all, the before space was pretty cluttered. Of course, we're super lucky when we have our empty areas, but honestly, I can imagine cleaning my entire apartment just for one picture. I mean, first of all, I don't have space for that. Maybe there in the entrance area with my other neighbors, but I don't think they'll be happy about that. And this is why, like, let's think, clearly and how things are in real life and not all of those perfect interior design projects. We all are humans, right? I took a picture the best I could for my render and I really wanted to visualize that idea without my iPad, but of course I described everything where it should be. I also provided AI with my mood board clearly, like for this area, for that area, because when your AI render doesn't match your vision, of course you rewrite the prompt, you rewrite it again, you create a new chat, you wonder what is wrong, maybe AI isn't working for me. Please, you just need the right tool, okay? So let's now, as a contrast, take a look at the quick iPad sketch approach. First of all, the goal is to clean up the space. Mind you, you don't need to be an artist for that. Yes, of course, you need some fundamentals in order to understand, first of all, which brushes to use, because there are so many brushes in the Procreate app. This is the app we work in, and in order to be able to achieve the best results possible in the shortest time, you need the right brushes. Of course, then you need to know where to apply shadows and all of these things. But when all of these things happening on the automatic level for you, on that intuitive level, then it happens literally in seconds. In my case, it was like super quick adjustment without any details at all. I wasn't trying to depict the realistic look of my living room. I only had one single goal: cover the space so that no easels are visible, no books are visible, clean space, but a messy space in terms of sketches, right? After that, I started testing ideas. This or that sofa, this or that sideboard. Why should you outsource that when this is such a fun part for you as well, and everything is to scale, obviously. This is why I preach my iPad design and drawing coaching so much. The thing is that they don't teach you this method, this approach in art or design school. Only a roadmap tailored to your specific design needs, to your aesthetics, to your own creative workflow, and coming from someone who's been there, who's done that, that and who succeeded in it will deliver proven results. How do I know? Well, because I've been there. When I studied interior design as my second degree after my first one in journalism, and mind you, it had been a dream of mine for almost 10 years. And when I finally enrolled in that interior design school, and I was so excited to start, I was so excited to bring all of those ideas to life, I was told to use those flat, time-consuming computer renders, which I hated with my entire soul. I'm not tech savvy at all. And for me, every single button there, every single learning session was a struggle. And this is when I literally started questioning my own choice, whether interior design was right for me because of the software. And not only was that super inflexible, super time-consuming and average looking, but it was freaking expensive. I was a student back then and I was supporting myself on my own because I was studying abroad, my parents were in there, and I couldn't afford all of those even student rates of that software. And for me, it wasn't worth it at all. So instead, you know what I started to do? I started to draw my ideas, literally, in the most ambitious way possible. And this is how, first of all, my professor started to notice my approach, because I was almost the one who was sketching ideas like in that bold way instead of using computer renders. And then they started to share my approach with my peers. And then this is how I got recognition in the entire faculty of interior design. And some of the professors even asked me to teach my peers how to draw like me, which was weird at the time, but now this is what I do for a living. So make sure to pay attention to the messages that universe tried to send you. This is how that inacceptance, so to speak, with the systems lead me to my calling. First of all, at the university, and after that, I turned drawing into my absolutely dream career. And clients search for this particular approach too. They are not searching for quick, random sketches on paper, which are almost impossible to adjust. They search for high quality visuals, which still keep your artistic touch, which are also easy to adjust or apply revisions to, obviously, because they have their own changes in their own concepts, or they want to test lamps or colors or something like that. And because you work on your iPad and you have your skills, you'll be able to do that without any problems. And yes, absolutely, you can learn how to draw like this too. Please don't think that you need any sort of talent, okay? I don't want you to lose any more time on all of those myths and misconceptions, because I went to art school and there I was literally told that my watercolor drawing sucked, and that developed a belief in me that I should be able to draw in the most realistic way, otherwise my skills wouldn't matter. This is why I stopped drawing for over 5 years after that art school experience. And then when I got back to drawing, I was constantly comparing myself to others on Instagram. Oh, when I draw one more sketch, then I will be perfect. 2 years of not showing my work at all, and then only maybe one drawing per month or something like that. You can't even imagine how much regret I have now. This is why I don't want you to feel like that, and this is why my academy is your ultimate dream art school you wish you had, where you won't believe how incredibly you can actually draw. Alright, now we're going to take a look at the final render once again, and the coolest thing is that I already ordered the bookshelf because the rendering showed us that the position suits, the dimensions suit, right? And in general, it looks gorgeous. And since I have so many books, this is the perfect solution for them. In the next step, we'll be purchasing that yellow, like the golden sofa. See, this is how you make those quick decisions after testing your ideas on the go. Literally 30 minutes, and in 30 minutes, you're already purchasing your new living room or your new bedroom, depending on what kind of project you're currently working on.